All right, Larry, it is that time again where we talk about what the last month performance looked like, make a silly joke about the weather. It's cold and snowy. And yeah, where are you at this month, Larry?
Well, if you want to talk about stats where we are, real estate is still chugging along at a very, very slow pace. Prices have dropped again year over year. Sales are slow. I mean, you hear in the media that sales are up, but that's across Canada, which I hear numbers out of Korea on. But if you focus on our own region, whether it's Halton or Toronto, overall, we're either flat or down, and we've seen a bit of an erosion of price. And that's taken into account as well the fact that they're comparing it year over year, which is looking at probably one of the worst years we've had in the last decade last
Right.
year. So we're treading right around that same level. So from that perspective, I think it's been pretty slow. I have a number of listings out there that are getting some activity, some showings, but I find buyers are extremely slow to make any commitments or decisions, even to bring forward offers. Price is king. Everybody's looking at price and everybody wants a deal.
Right.
And sellers are probably not completely there yet, but that's kind of what I've been seeing over the last 30 days. How about yourself?
Much the same. And the interesting thing is when we often comparisons get made to the peak, right, which was
Yeah.
roughly February, March of 2022. And most communities in Southern Ontario, in terms of pricing since that point in time, are down anywhere between about 20 to 30%. I think the average for Greater Toronto and Hamilton area is hovering around 27%.
Yeah.
And so, people looking for deals, the reality is that the prices are lower, quite a bit lower
Yeah.
than what you would have paid maybe just 2 or 3 years ago. But I think there's a widespread belief amongst at least some segment of the buyer population that prices will come lower. And it's hard to say which way the winds will blow. No one's got a crystal ball, unfortunately. There's still certainly possibility that we do see prices erode a little bit further.
Well, my own personal belief is that we haven't hit bottom yet. That doesn't mean that I think we have a long ways to go. I don't. I think we're
Yeah.
treading close to where that is. And I think more so around the fact that a lot of sellers out there just aren't going to, they don't see the value in making that move if they have to go much lower than the price they have in their head. And a
Yeah.
lot of them are off that number quite a bit. So I think we're probably getting down around where that is. The trouble in all of this is that there's such a mix of housing and price points out there that all get lumped into one average number that it's hard to really dive in and be able to tell exactly what's what just by looking at the surface.
No, and naturally, the lower price point, you'll have a higher volume.
Absolutely. And I mean, if I
But
look
that's
at
true in
sales
any
today,
market.
absolutely. I mean, I track sales on a daily basis, what's going on, whether it's new listings, conditional sales, what's happening out there. I mean, most sales now are going through that conditional process with home inspection, financing, status certificates, things like that. Um, the lower price point stuff, and I'll call that below $1 million, they dominate the sales numbers every single day. There's more homes sold below $1 million than there is on anything else combined. And
Yeah.
then you've got that kind of million, million two, upwards to $2 to $2.5 million price point. I believe that's where the biggest price reduction has happened. That's that move up home. The first time home buyer, the downsizers are feeding that $1 million or below price point. But that mid range, there's a lot of inventory out there right now. And there's a lot of people that are sitting back, waiting, sitting on the fence, waiting to make that move, whether they need to or want to, that haven't been able to make the plunge. And then when you step up to that luxury market, it's dropped right off. I mean, we're just not seeing the sales there. We haven't seen the pricing drop tremendously, but I mean, no sales kind of tells you exactly what's happening at that price point, right?
Yeah, no news is often a good indicator in that front. I would say no news is good news, but not in this case.
Yeah.
The Anytime you have a market that's somewhat in flux where the needle's moving a bit, most buyers, most consumers, and sellers for that matter, want to see a level of stability before making their next move. And so I think we have a lot of people kind of sitting back, watching and waiting to kind of see are we at that new normal yet? And once we get to that point, I think you will see volume in terms of sales pick up again, and that'll probably equate to a little uptick in price, but at the same time, we've got a lot of inventory out there. It would take frankly, a big uptick in sales volume
And I
to
don't think it's
move the
coming.
price needle.
I think we're close to our new norm. I mean,
Yeah,
at least for the next, couple of years.
yeah.
The buyer confidence is at one of the lowest points it's been at since the mid 90s,
Hmm.
which is big. I mean, that just doesn't relate to housing. That's automotive sales, that's household wares. I mean, that's everything. Buyer
Home
confidence is at a low.
renovation, furniture purchases.
Now, we surprisingly had an uptick in job creation, or new jobs last month, which was nice to see.
Two
We
months in a row.
Yeah. So I mean, jobs are up a little bit. I didn't dive into it enough to know is it at the seasonal part-time jobs that are being created?
It's
From what
it's
I understand,
predominantly part-time.
yeah. So I mean, that's a bit deceiving when they say employment's
Yeah,
up, but
but
as
but
the full-time
all
jobs
measures
stand
were
out.
up. So
Yeah.
at least it went in the right direction, right?
Yeah. So I mean, that was good news. I mean, we had another interest rate reduction, obviously, another quarter point there. It didn't move the needle on anything, but you know what? A quarter point's a quarter point. When you add up what we've had so far this year, I mean, that's significant. Like you said earlier, interest rates are trending near one of the lower points they've been in years.
Well,
So
you can get a mortgage under 4% pretty easily these days
yeah,
now. I know there'll be some folks who might respond to this saying, well, yeah, but I had under 2% not that long ago. Well,
yeah. But that's
I
tell me
don't
another
that
time in history when we were that low. That
that
was an
that
anomaly,
that that that's exactly what I was going to say. That might have been an anomaly
and it
and
took a
not
pandemic for it to
necessarily,
happen, a
yeah.
global pandemic for it to happen. Now, the one thing that I did come across in the last month that was interesting to me is pertaining more to first time home buyers. And I don't typically deal with a lot of first time home buyers. They're usually um, clients that come through existing clients of mine. But it was actually it came through a friend. They reached out to me about something, and their son was looking to buy a home, and they were telling me about a program from the federal government, which I was not aware of. And the reason I wasn't aware of is because it has not passed legislation yet, or it has passed legislation that hasn't received royal assent, but it's the HST rebate to first time home
Yeah.
buyers. So it has nothing to do with any of the programs. It is a 5% rebate up to $1 million, and then it's tiered from 1 million to 1.5 million for first time home buyers on the purchase of a new or significantly renovated resale home. What that significantly renovated means, I don't know at this point. But that's $50,000 potentially on $1 million home that you can buy that you're going to get in a rebate.
Yeah.
Last week, the Ford government came out and they said they're going to do 8% on the PST part of the GST. So you're now at 13% rebates up to $1 million for first time home buyers on a home. And I mean, when you think about that, that's significant. I mean, you buy $1 million house and you're getting $130,000 rebates from the government, or up to 130,000 in rebates from the government.
It's huge.
I buy a house, or you buy a house as a first time home buyer for $1 million, and you've really paid 870. I buy the one next door that's identical for the $1 million, and I paid $1 million for it because I already own a home. That's significant. On top of
Hmm.
that, you still get your land transfer tax credit. You still get the $1,500 to put towards your other closing costs, things like that. So there's good incentives out there right now for first time home buyers to jump into the market. And where my friends were able to help their son was they were able to top up his down payment by some extra money that he's going to get back in a rebate that he'll pay mom and dad back later when he gets that money back. So when parents are out there trying to figure out how they can help their kids, that's another avenue that may be open there to be able to help your kids get into the market.
Yeah, it creates more options and gives, it enables a degree of creativity, I think, on how they help.
Absolutely. And if you go out and you look, I mean, John, we have some great sales from builders right now that have inventory homes
Yeah.
that are offering incentives to realtors in the sense of programs we can offer our clients that are not available direct. So if you are looking at new home construction, there are some great incentives out there through realtors right now. So reach out to us, let us know where you're looking and what you're looking for. And there might be some potential out there to get a great deal on a new construction home to help your kids or anybody else you know that's looking to get into the market that they didn't think had that opportunity right now. And
Yeah, I mentioned earlier about markets in flux, and anytime there's a bit of turmoil in the market where maybe you don't necessarily feel like we're on even or stable ground, in my experience, I'm sure it's the same for you, but who feels it the most? It's the people who maybe don't have a lot of experience in the market. Well,
yeah,
first time buyers, right? So
yeah,
that buyer profile, that demographic, probably and rightfully so has stepped back to the sidelines and is kind of watching and waiting for the next opportunity to maybe for things to feel more comfortable before they jump in. And so these programs I think really help. Hopefully it helps them make their next move. But I
listen, everybody's looking for the bottom to get the best deal, but the
you'll
problem is you
never
don't know
know.
you hit the bottom until you start coming back up.
No, I was talking not long ago with a financial planner in Oakville who was I do a bit of work with him, and he was saying he has young adult children who are recent graduates of university, and he helped, of course, his sons, but he's also helped all of their friends and neighbors and whatever. He said, I've got a list as long as my arm of guys and gals in their early to mid 20s with over $200,000 in their TFSAs,
Yeah,
just waiting for the right time.
yeah,
And so I think those buyers are out there. They just need the right opportunity. These incentives are massive,
they are.
and
And I mean,
it's not all doom and gloom.
no, it's not. And if it's something that you're looking to get into the market and you're just waiting for the right timing, there, who knows how long these programs are going to be offered? To me, I mean, that's a massive amount of equity you're going to pick up for basically off the backs of taxpayers, basically.
Mm.
To be able to take advantage of that as a first-time home buyer is huge. Think about how long it'll take you to save that kind of money. And it doesn't hurt to explore and look into it. If you don't have a job insecurity issue where you don't know if your job is going to be there, if you've got money in the bank, you've got a decent job, you've got some money saved up, you're just waiting for the right time to get in, I think exploring that option may be worthwhile right now, looking into it. And again, it may not be the right time for you, but let's have a conversation about it and find out if it is the right time or not. And if it's not, waiting for that moment to come. But there's some big incentives out there right now that make it worthwhile. And I kind of wish I was
Well,
a
like
first
you
time
say,
home
it's
buyer now.
probably at least at minimum the time to start paying attention.
Yeah,
Start talking
that's
about
it.
it. It
I
might not
mean,
be perfect for you, but
I kind of wish my daughter was in a position she could buy a house today.
there's
Like
opportunities out
when
there.
I look at it, I mean, I think about the amount of equity you're going to gain out of that. I mean, it's massive. I wish it was there when I bought, when we bought our first home.
Yeah.
So you compound that with your new home buyer savings account, your RESP or sorry, your RSP contribution savings that you can put towards it. There's so many incentives out there right now that it's definitely worth having a conversation and exploring for sure.
Yeah.
That's one silver lining I picked up in the last week that I thought was something worth sharing because I have a friend that's taken advantage of it, and I couldn't find anything that didn't look good there. It's like in the end, it comes down: is this a house you want, where you want to live? Yes. Well, there's no downside to this.
Yeah. It's, and especially from a long-term point of view, you could be set up quite nicely for 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now.
Well, I mean, even if you're 5 to 10 in there and you decide, like, even if it's
Yeah.
just to
That
get into the
midterm
market,
kind of view.
get into the market 5 to 10 years, you want to upsize to a more family home, something like that. You're already starting, potentially up to $130,000 plus in free equity, right?
Yeah.
Man,
No, it's worth exploring, and I think
absolutely.
I hope that more people will start having those conversations and looking at it, whether it's with us, their financial planner, mortgage broker. Pick any one of those three scenarios. It'd be a good place to start, and then loop in their other professionals from there.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was something that I dealt with in the last month that I thought was beneficial to share with people. Obviously, a lot of our clients out there are not first-time home buyers,
No,
but they have children or friends and family and things like that that have been looking to get into the market. And this is something I think that is worthwhile sharing and exploring. So I thought we should
yeah.
pass it on.
Well, I think on that note, we won't let our video run too long this month. We have a bad habit of running running long, but
Well, we got a lot to share.
I think we do, which is a good thing, right? Um, But yeah, so on that note, maybe we'll cut this one off with some positive news there.
Yeah,
And until next month, happy
sounds good.
selling.
Let's hope things stay in the positive column or get to the positive column, and we got some good information to share again next month. We'll look for some more deals out there for people to look into.
Absolutely.
All right, till next month. All the best.
Okay. Till then, see ya.